Welcome back. Today we are going to continue to give presentation on languages, African languages. Now, unlike in my previous episode where I focused on Swahili, but we're still going to be continuing with international flavor. So today I'm going to discuss the English words that were borrowed from native Southern African languages, such as the Sotho-Tswana languages. Now, I'm going to be using linguistic analysis to provide a brief analysis how English borrows some words from native Africans to use for their advantage. This process happened during the colonizations where English traveler, colonial mission administrator, as well as through education, were able to absorb native African language to advance their English languages. For evolution of the English, as you know that English has borrowed words from languages all over the world. That's why it is what it is today, because of relying on other cultures for development of its vocabulary. So the process of borrowing languages, words, or borrowing words from other languages to advance your own language, it's called lexical borrowing in linguistics. This process is very important. It was very vital for English to accommodate many words from different languages throughout the world. Because many people, when you talk about African languages, they think African languages only borrow from Arabs or Asians. English also benefited from African languages. I'm going to explain how English language benefited from native African language in Southern Africa. Now, through contact, colonial administrator, missionaries, and others, through their contact with the native, they discovered that it's very important to use native African language in their own to benefit the English languages. So some of these words that benefited English language, I'm going to give you 3 examples of them. There are a lot of them, but I'm just going to give you 3 examples of them. Among others, it's melodi. Melodi is an English word that is common in the Sotho-Tswana languages. The Sotho-Tswana language didn't borrow it from English languages. It's actually a native African languages among the Sotho-Tswana people of Southern Africa. The melody, which is used in music tone, but in English, it's also used in the music to refer to music among Sotho-Tswana people. For example, melody could mean whistles or could mean music. Like melody, for example, they will say melodi ya lapiteng, or bana ba kgwadi ba bitsana ka melody, which means the children of partridge. They call each other through whistling. Or melodi ya lapiteng is like music. It's there's a music inside the pot. Another one is the Katse. Katse is a cat, domestic cat, or it's called a mouse or a kitten. A young cat called kitten. A domestic cat. The word the word cat it's also used in Sotho-Tswana languages, like Katse, cat, Katse. For example, Katse ya para or Katse ya naga, which means it's a feral cat. So Katse, which is an English word, it's also used in the Sotho-Tswana languages. Another famous words that is peculiar or is common in English vocabulary, that is basically adopted, I repeat, adopted from African people especially Sotho-Tswana. Tilapia. Tilapia, it's a Latin word means freshwater fish, which are prevalent in Africa, or which are native in Africa. They call tilapia freshwater fish, tilapia. This Latinizations of the Sotho-Tswana, this is a Latinization of the Sotho-Tswana word Tlhapi. So tilapias come from the Sotho-Tswana word Tlhapi. It's used in modern English today. So you can make your own, observation. With no doubt, I think you'll come to conclusion that indeed English language has benefited immensely from the Sotho-Tswana languages. These are the few words. There are a lot of them, but I'll just start from here, and then I'll continue to give more words. I know that for some this may sound infra deep, what this has to do with the Africans, but to be honest and realistic, I think this is very important for Africans to learn that their languages are very important, or also benefit for humankind. Because currently, if you go everywhere, when you talk about African heritage, culture, and arts, many black people are meant to believe they were made to believe that their cultures, languages means nothing. So this is my own observation with my contact with white students. Many students that I've met, who listen to my presentation, I'm sorry to say that, who are white people who email me, who send me information, hey, tell us about these things. And then the black people hardly having interest in African languages. This is very sad, and it's so infra-deep, can shine our language. They'll behave as if speaking English with the big words it's sort of achievement, which is not true. And I've been giving lectures in different places. I give lecture in Canada, United States of America. I can tell you that many white students have interest. I asked one of the professors why white students are so interested in African knowledge system, and then she told me the reason why many white students are interested in this. The African knowledge systems, it helped them to connect with continent, to familiarize themselves with what actually happening in the continent. That's the main reason why America and many Western countries, they want to promote African languages, because they want to connect the African continent. Even in South Africa, the reason why white universities are the only universities that offer arts, fine arts, majority of the universities that offer fine arts are white universities, is because they want white students to connect with black culture. And these fine arts departments are funded by, some of them they got private funding from whites. You ask yourself, why is it like the arts of the blacks is controlled by whites? Where are the blacks? The simple reason is that Africans don't invest in their own arts. Africans hardly promote their own arts. They only say we're decolonizing. But what is the purpose of decolonizing, whereas our own people don't promote their languages? They don't promote their own cultures. Having said that, I think now you'll then be able to open your eyes and reflect about how our languages contributed to development of English. You must ask yourself why English people appreciate the African languages. Because the African languages are meant to connect white students with the continent. That's very amazing. So having said that, I hope you have learned, and then you'll go and share this video with your colleagues. Until we meet again, thank you very much for taking time to listen to my presentation.